Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Nikki Hu. I'm an Ascension mentor, and I support starseeds in their awakening journey, as well as stepping into their mastery and embodiment of their mission. So, I have been going through a huge transition this year, and I feel very called to share more about that. One of those things is my intention to expand. And when I set the intention to expand in my business, what happened was my perception of what I thought I was here to do also expanded. And I think in some ways it's very scary and disorienting because the old identity must dissolve before the new identity emerges. And in the dissolution, it feels like stagnancy. It feels like you're falling behind. It feels like everything you've done up until this point has been for nothing or like wasted effort. And there's a level of fear attached to that, right? For me, it almost felt like all the stuff that I've been doing to build my business, it was crumbling beneath my feet, like all the work that I put in. And I was really frustrated that things weren't working out the way that I had expected it to. Like, I was expecting it to like really take off, right? I thought I had established my foundations and like I'm moving into the next thing that is going to really propel me forward. But instead, it took me on a pivot, and that pivot was really unexpected. It was into art. Um, and I was very confused because I was in the healing slash like business field, and it took me into art, um, which made me confront parts of myself that I've suppressed since I was young. I had always wanted to become an artist. And I remember my mom telling me that art is not a viable career path. It's not going to make you money. And that has been my story my whole life is I chose society's version of success because it would make me money, it would make me worthy and valuable. And I suppressed my desires and my dreams, right? And so the big aha moment this year was that I have been building my business despite all the amazing things and the amazing gifts that I've learned along the way. I didn't actually know what my true heart's desire was. So I was in the healing space, teaching about healing your mother father wounds, healing your ancestral imprints, learning about spirituality and really expanding my consciousness. But the core, the core is who you really are. And a lot of people go on this spiritual journey because they're trying to find who they are. And sometimes through like profound healing or profound peace that you really get to hear your soul, right? So for me, I thought this is my purpose, right? It was another title that I've taken on that if I was of service, then I am fulfilled and happy, and this is my purpose. But in reality, I suppressed a really big part of me that I didn't even look at, I didn't even consider, right? It was just so deep in my subconscious about my dream to be an artist. And it's been a couple months, and I think I'm still navigating what it means. Like, I'm still navigating where's my creativity and how is my creativity going to show up? Because what happened if my mom never told me no? If she never told me no and I never went through the challenges in childhood, how would my creativity been nurtured and expanded into adulthood? Because that's my true self, right? My true self is the joyous, joyous inner child that had all of these dreams, that knew what she wanted, and then society said no. And and so I've been trying to build my dreams from a different pathway, and it's been really hard. And I think that's where I felt almost that sense of like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that I've been operating with these imprints, these ideas of other people that they've projected onto me, and I've taken them on as my own truth. And releasing that opened me up into a new field of consciousness of myself that I haven't actually explored since I was little. And I think that really shook my foundations that I've built all these years, right? Because if that's not my true self, then who is my true self? So I've done work on the inner child, but I realized I've never developed a relationship with my inner child. Like consciously developed a relationship where I am in tune with my inner child, where I'm in tune with what it is that she wants, right? Where I am actually present and listening to her so that I actually get to hear her voice and what she wants to pursue. And I had a healing recently, actually, where where my inner child wanted to build a community. And it was a beautiful vision. It's called the Creator Academy. And I officially launched it. So you can actually check that out if you're interested. But for her, this vision was a magical academy like Disney or Hogwarts, where starseeds and souls like us come together to build a relationship with our inner child. And through the relationship with our inner child, where we play and um, we are consciously bringing the inner child forth in this community, that we are creating and listening to our soul and what our true essence wanted to create in the first place before the conditioning set in. And we would have healings, we would have activations, we would have community events where we get together and we really get to like play with each other, right? It was a beautiful vision, and it was so heart-centered that it scared me. And I shut down, and I wanted to go back to the old way of doing things, which was like I wanted to go back to the old way that I was taught business from my business coaches, that I had to sell high ticket or that my business had to look a certain way. And that was the hard way. That was the way that was not in alignment with my true self. And now that my true self is coming forward and saying, this is what your heart wants to do. Like, follow that. And I was so afraid, right? Because of that, the way that I used to live and the beliefs that I had, whether it was conscious or subconscious, I didn't know I was doing that. I thought I was being very consciously aware of what I was doing. Um, and when that came through, I remember telling my inner child, we can't play because I have to work. And the moment I said that, I cried. I cried from the depths of my heart. I just felt so much pain because I just realized in that moment that this is the pattern or this is the story of my ancestors, that they've always put their dreams aside because of survival, that they had to work, right? And that was my story too. I was telling my inner child, I'm sorry, we can't play. We can't launch this academy. It's unreasonable. Um, and I have to work, meaning the old paradigm. And it didn't click until I said it to myself out loud. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have been so misguided. And I just had to release that. It was such a heavy emotional moment for me. to release that and to let it go. So, um, that being said, I do feel like if you are going through this right now, where you are having a sense of identity loss, that if your business is stagnating, if things in your life aren't moving, it's because there was a part of you that built what you did, built your relationships, built your business on the consciousness level that you were at. And these other aspects of you are now integrating. And because they're integrating, you're actually moving more in alignment with your true self. And it does take some time to get used to because I haven't connected to that part of me for a very long time. And now it's like learning to work with that part of me daily, right? Like connecting to my inner child and asking my inner child, well, what would you like to do today? Because all of my life, I've never been seen or heard. So I've never really given her the opportunity to be heard. And so it's about me listening to my inner child, letting her be heard. And I think many of us who go through this spiritual journey, because I've walked this spiritual journey, right? We uncover a layer that helps us move into the next level. And maybe we learn a really cool skill set like channeling and healing modality. And we learn and we add all these things to our repertoire. But then when we step into the next level, it's like, well, did we release all that we needed to in order to step into the next level? Right. So with expansion, we also have to be mindful of the density that can no longer come with us with that expansion. So this video is really to share my personal experience and my vision for the Creator Academy. It is open, so I will put a link below this video if you're interested in joining us. Chi is my inner child, so Chi's vision for this academy is about being with your inner child and healing the foundations. We want to create a good foundation, right? And it starts with the inner child who remembers the magic and the innocence and the joy of her dreams or his dreams, and also the emotional foundation needed to honor your alignment and your truth so that when you expand into your multidimensionality, which is another part of the program, is we do get to learn by connecting with these higher soul aspects with the angels and the dragons and the galactics with these higher aspects to bring through higher consciousness so that we are not only in true alignment, but we are expanding with the alignment, right? And we're not expanding out of alignment, which creates more disruption and more need to reevaluate and recenter ourselves. So I would love for you to join us. The link is below and you can check that out. It is called the Creator Academy, and all the details will be linked.